Hello, guys. Welcome to episode 4 of Ichimi Talks. Today, we're going to be talking about Loketown in One Piece. Today, we have a special guest.
Logtown? You mean Logtown?
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Continue.
This is our guest, the guy who just spoke.
Yep. Yo. Hi. How you guys doing?
Imagine speaking, dude.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
So, starting off with this arc, we have the main character, Luffy, getting his first bounty. So, this makes him an official pirate now that he's a wanted man. So, a very big stepping stone for the main character and the crew.
Yep. It's the first of many, I will say.
Yes, yes.
Bounty of 30 million. So,
Yep,
quite
more
the
than
number.
every single guy or villain that he's fought so far. Which is pretty
Yeah.
good.
And
Cool.
while they're all excited about this bounty, that they've made it to the big leagues, you could say, they're on their way to Locktown, which is the town where Golden Roger was born. And
What?
Golden Roger.
Golden Roger?
Goldie Roger. Yeah.
doesn't it say
Gold-
Gold Roger?
It's Goldie
Yeah,
Roger.
not Golden Roger. Dude.
Nah,
Yeah.
okay.
Golden
Gold.
Roger? What are we doing?
We're doing this episode.
It's
Yeah,
Gold Roger.
it doesn't
Gold
seem
Roger.
like it.
Fuck. Gold Roger.
I'm like telling you, what are we doing? This guy's like stuttering in the background.
Anyways, Gold Roger was born and executed in this town. So a very big, what do you call?
I
Big
don't know.
event
I mean,
in this island.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
very
they call this
historical.
island the beginning, or the island of beginning and end, something like that. Wait, what is it called?
I
Something like
think
that.
something like that, yeah, beginning and end. So the crew arrive in Locktown, and the crew split up to do their own separate things. So Zoro wants to go shopping for some new swords. Usopp wants to go some shopping for some gear, and I believe Nami just wants to go looking around, and Luffy, of course, wants to see where Roger was executed.
Yeah.
So while the crew is all split up, we see also Sanji is going his own way, and he finds this fish market, and he sees this species of fish that only exists in I forgot which part of the sea, but it basically gave him a flashback to finding the all blue with all the fishes are there.
It was probably the
Nor-
North
no-
Blue.
Yeah, the North Blue.
Yeah.
I was like,
But the fish he saw, it also gave us a flashback of him looking at as like a book as a kid, and him talking with the other chefs or whatever about wanting to experience this and look at all these fish. But
Yeah.
after that, he also, or I think before that, he encounters this one like female chef who was trying to look for Sanji to fight him in like a chef battle to see who is really the best chef in the East Blue.
Mhm.
And then Sanji finds out the only way to get the fish he saw, like this, I think it was an elephant tuna fish, or is that
Yeah,
wrong?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Elephant something. It
So-
had a trunk.
Whatever the fish was, the only way to get it, because he wanted to buy it, of course, he never cooked anything like that, was to win the competition, the cooking competition. So he has to face all these other chefs, and that's that arc on the side, on top of everything else. So that's what Sanji's doing.
Now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that's anime only.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember that.
manga. I mean, it was
Yeah.
Food Wars. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool.
Uh, While the crew's in Locktown, we have another basically follow up with Captain Buggy. So Buggy's basically, like 2 feet tall because of the previous fight with Luffy. They basically captured like all his other body parts, and he encounters Aldiva, and we see Aldiva in a whole new form than the first episode. She's now skinny, beautiful, wholly
Yeah,
like totally
super
different
hot.
thing.
Yeah.
And while Buggy and Alvida basically exchange words, they find out they both have the same goal, is to get to Luffy, basically get revenge on Luffy.
Yeah.
So they basically track him down, and they end up meeting him at Logtown. But while that's going down, Zoro is going shopping for katanas, like I said earlier, and he encounters, what's the marine?
Tashigi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Female swordsman. She's very knowledgeable about all the different types of swords. She is the first to Um,
Introduce the
yeah,
idea
introduce
of
the grades for the swords.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's how we learn about that. And we find out that the one sword that Zoro has right now, which was the sword that Kuina, his best friend, gave to him, is it's I forgot exactly what grade, but it's one of the graded swords.
Yeah, like a legendary tier if you were to simplify it.
yeah, it's special.
Yeah, it's a special sword. We'll find out about that way down the line, why it is.
Yeah, but him going to the store, Zoro doesn't have any money, so I had to borrow some from Nami, but this whole ordeal at the store with the merchant, basically he was looking for some swords that were basically good enough for his use, and there's this little pile of some swords for like the cheaper section that Zoro could afford, and he finds this one cursed sword, and it's a really good sword, but the reason why it's in this cheap pile is because every user who's held this sword has died a horrific death or something like that.
Yep.
So he uses this sword and he's intrigued by it because it's a cursed sword. And to test out basically himself with the sword, he basically throws it up in the air and sees if the sword would slice off his arm by falling down, and it doesn't. So then he keeps the sword because he knows that he's good enough to use it. He could handle the curse or whatever else. And the merchant, seeing that, this notices that Zoro's like a different kind of swordsman, and he offers Zoro his best sword for free. So that summarizes the market. Zoro basically has all three of his swords, and he's ready to go. And also, Usopp has his own little journey. He's going to this market to buy some, what was it, like, not goggles, but kind of goggles. What was it?
Yeah, like
they were
like
goggles.
goggles. Yeah, goggles.
They were goggles. Yeah.
Yeah, just to like enhance his aiming or whatever.
Yeah.
And he encounters what is it, Daddy?
Daddy. What?
I could have sworn that's what it was named.
This might be another anime only thing.
I'm pretty sure it's an anime only thing because there were too many arcs here. One Sanji's and Usopp's.
I mean, I remember this. Yeah. Oh, it was like the kid thing, right? It was a kid.
Yeah, but the kid's
Right?
dad.
Yeah. And he also okay. Yeah. I don't know the character's name though.
Anyways, this character, no, the kid who was at the same store as Usopp trying to buy these goggles. The kid got the goggles before Usopp did as a gift for the father, and Usopp was trying to, bribe with the kid, like, let me get those goggles, I really want them. But the father wasn't having it because he thought Usopp was trying to be disrespectful, so they had like a whole ordeal. And it's later to find out that this guy is one of the best marksmen known in the series so far. And after they have this little standoff to prove who could have these goggles, and Usopp obviously loses and he like backs out, but then he has his moment where he decides to man up and actually go with his word. So I believe he shoots this target super far away with his little slingshot, and he says, if I miss it, then you have to shoot me. Like, that's it, he just dies. This was basically depending on his life.
Yeah.
So he hits the target and he earns this man's respect. And then later on we find out that this man knew Yasop, and Yasop saved his life because they also had a duel to see who was the best marksman, and Yasop won the duel, but Yasop still spared his life and for respect, so that way he can live for his daughter as well.
Yeah.
So that basically wraps up Usopp's arc in Locktown, and then we go to Luffy. So Luffy finally sees, or no, as he's on his way to find where Roger got executed, he meets up with Smoker. But Smoker's looking for Luffy, but he doesn't know who he is because he ignored the wanting posters. He was just gonna look for someone who looked the part for a $30 million bounty, but he saw Luffy and he didn't really think anything. So he gives Luffy directions to Roger's execution, and then he discovers that that kid who he gave directions was Luffy. So then everyone's basically meeting up at this execution spot where Luffy is, because now you have Buggy, Alvida, and Smoker all trying to look for him and capture him, and it ends up in this giant mess.
Yeah. And then, during all this, well, after all this, well, kind of during all this, Luffy makes his way to the stand, and Buggy and Alvida are there, and I forget exactly how he gets locked into the like the stands, like the execution thing that keeps the people in place when they're getting executed.
Yeah.
But that happens. And
Yeah,
then,
whatever like fighting they were doing, he ended up getting captured by Buggy, and Buggy was about to execute him live in front of everyone.
Yeah, and that's when a big like a few minutes before this, you could see a storm rolling up, and
Yeah.
all the characters are like worried. Oh, we gotta leave. We're not gonna be able to leave if we don't leave in time. And yeah, all the crewmates are saying this. And then, as this happens, Luffy's in place. He's about to get executed. He smiles. He would have went out with a smile, but then a huge lightning bolt takes down the execution stand, and that's well, we see that, and then Luffy's trying to run away, and Smoker pretty much has him in a lock because of his weapon,
Yeah.
which has Sea Stone on it, Sea Prism Stone, which weakens Devil Fruit users. And then that's when we see Dragon. We don't know much about Dragon at this point, but he saves Luffy and pretty much lets him go as Smoker had him. He stops Smoker from holding him. And Luffy leaves all that. And in the manga, I don't remember if this happened in the anime, but in the manga, we hear Dragon say, "Oh, you're a pirate," and he like kind of reacts to that because he didn't know, because he recognizes Luffy apparently.
Right.
Yeah. And then the usual shit that happens when the crew is trying to leave an island and there's all trouble and shit. They're racing against time because the storm is about to hit hard. And I don't remember if there was like any other fights or anything that happened
there
before
was
they left.
Luffy versus Smoker for like a brief, maybe like 30 seconds, but
Yeah, this is where we see
his
Smoker's
devil fruit
like
power, yeah.
his devil fruit power, which it's the smoke fruit. He
Yeah.
literally is smoke. This is the first in the series so far. He like, from what we've seen in this arc, he cannot be touched.
Yeah.
Luffy tried hard to hit him. It's impossible. So that shit is OP at this part.
Yeah.
It's like insane.
It's insane. Yeah, overly overpowered.
Yeah,
And
it's mind-boggling.
Didn't Luffy also go to like a bar, like a tavern?
That's anime only.
Yeah, that's anime only
Okay.
apparently.
In the anime, he goes to a bar. He speaks to
Like someone
the
about
bar-
Roger.
the bartender, and the
Yeah.
bartender, he actually met with Roger before he got executed in this town,
Yeah.
and he saw the resemblance between Roger and Luffy and that type of thing.
Yeah. of
And he
course.
tells Luffy about Roger a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some juicy stuff though, cause like especially like dude, after this it's just oh man.
Yeah, this after this it kind of snowballs a little bit into a big arc, which we're not at yet.
No, we're not, but we will be.
Oh, and as the crew is leaving, they make it to the ship. We get the legendary, well, as of now, after reading the whole series, the legendary Straw Hats making it to the Grand Line. They all put their foot on the barrel, and
Oh, that's right.
they have a little ceremony type of thing, and
Saying their
they
dreams.
they all vow their dreams as they're making it to the Grand Line, and that's
Yes.
where the arc ends.
Yes. And that scene is actually goated. It is a legendary scene.
Yep.
So good.
Yeah, definitely
is
one of
very
my
good.
favorite arcs, continuing the series so far, and
Yeah,
many more to come.
It's very good.
All right, well, thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you in the next arc. See ya.
See you.